What is going on, guys? Blink here, back with a new guide. I'll be showing you guys examples of my endgame scenarios and help you visualize what you have to do if you're in these situations. I'll be making a lot of these example videos, so be on the lookout for more. Also, the V-Bucks giveaway is still going on, so make sure to visit the link in the description to enter. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications as I post an Amazon gift card code in the comments every time I upload. By turning on notifications, you'll have a way better chance of getting here first and redeeming that code. Now, before we start this guide, I want to give you guys some tips off with the most common. If you want to make it even close to endgame, then don't go to Tilted Towers, because that's mostly indoor engagements. And as you guys know from my previous videos, the indoor engagements is more of a 50-50 chance of surviving. Now, my house tips and tricks video can give you some advantages, but the amount of enemy encounters you'll have will be hard to consistently win at Tilted. Although, it's all up to you guys. I don't know how well you guys do at Tilted Towers or any other area, so if you do good at an area in the beginning stages, then do what you gotta do to get to endgame. Now, I'll also be making a video on how to get past the beginning stages of a match, so be on the lookout for that. So, I'll show you guys 3 examples that can help you get a better idea on how to play out endgame scenarios. The first scenario, I get shot in the back as the circle starts to close, so I decide to take the fight and try to put some damage into this opponent. Unfortunately, she hits me again, leaving me at 12 HP, so I had to make a decision quick. I went behind the wall for some extra cover and popped my heal, because if that circle gets too close, it might just be too late for the heal. It was pretty risky not to box myself in, but I had to risk it because the circle was way too close. I then peeked out, and luckily my opponent had low health, so I was able to connect a shot and got the kill. I had no time to loot and kept going. Unfortunately, I couldn't check if she had shields, but if you see any shields and the circle is not close, then you want to grab those as they are crucial, especially to survive endgame. So I kept moving and I heard shots to my left. I was waiting for this player to peek out, but he never did, so I built backwards in hopes to find some shields, which I did. I made myself a ramp just to spot this player as I used my shields. I got one shield down and decided to go for the kill since the circle was getting close. I see a golden sniper and I grab that, but I don't have time to look for anything else and I must keep going. That circle damage starts taking harder and harder, so you guys want to make sure you avoid sitting in the circle endgame because it will drain your health. Up ahead, I do see a golden scar, so I do grab that and move to the mountain, and I do see a big fort. Got off a few sniper shots and had no luck connecting, so I decided to go for the AR spray and connected a few shots and decided to push the player. He doesn't seem like he was that good. When you see big forts and solos and notice players not even reacting to the shots you take, then that's a red flag of a not so good player. He should have built a wall in his massive base in the direction of where I shot him from, but all he did was crouch walk around. So I decided to build on top of this house because it was a pretty close point in the middle of the circle. You want to build around the highest points that's in the middle of the circle. This will make sure no one can somehow spot you from above and kill you, and will usually give you the height advantage. Now, there are players on top of the mountain to the south of me, and you don't want to build too close to mountains as they can usually get an easier angle to peek you from. Although the house I was on was far enough for me to be in a comfortable position. Let me explain why I built on top of the house. The first reason is it gives me more support building around it. If my fort gets destroyed, I still have cover from the house and can easily rebuild it. The next is I can build a 3-story fort and be about 5 stories high, because if my fort does get destroyed, I won't fall to the ground. I'll fall on top of the house. You guys can also see I'm trying to look at my surroundings. I'm not peeking from above the fort. I'm using the edit tool to look around me, because if I did peek my head over to look around, the player from the hill can most likely see me since he's got a pretty big height advantage. You want to take advantage of the editing tool to check your surroundings, especially if there are players close to you that are above you. So this opponent kept shooting rockets at me, which isn't a problem because I don't have to move. All I have to do is wait and just keep rebuilding my fort. Once he has to move, you can start taking shots at him and try getting the kill. Also, make sure to peek in and out because you don't want to be exposed for too long. A lot of the times, another player might have an easy sniper shot on you if you tunnel vision on one player. I do get the kill and notice he was fighting someone around that area he was in, although that doesn't matter to me. What is key here is that you get to the middle of the next circle and set up your tower before anyone else. I get ready to build in the middle once the circle hits, get my fort built, and now I'm in a really good position compared to the last 2 players. The main key here is to get to the middle of the circle and build. You'll have a way better chance of winning. Alright, I do notice one of the players walk behind the green electrical box, but I wasn't sure if he was still there. I do wait him out and try to find the other player, which runs under my fort. I stay in my fort and take a few jumping shotgun shots at him since I don't want to expose myself for too long, and pulling out the AR would mean I would have to stand still. I do kill him off and find the last player behind the electrical box. I accidentally jump off, which does put me in a crappy position, but still better than my opponent. I ended up hitting him with a shotgun shot and instantly built to avoid any 50-50 fights. Fighting without cover is one of the worst things possible. So I do bury him in my building and notice he doesn't react back. So my intention was that he was healing. I do use the peeker's advantage to check if he was healing, and there he was, right under my stairs. So I go for the peek because I do have the peeker's advantage and it grants me an easy kill. Alright, this next situation, we are heading very close to endgame. I once again have no shields, which is just a rough situation. There was a player in this house that might have potentially had shields, so I needed to see. so I went for the kill. Unfortunately, she had nothing. Now, I did hear shots close to the storm, so I went back into my fort to catch any players rotating, which I saw one player running from the storm. I went for the snipe and got him. This does help me out a little bit because now I potentially won't get shot in the back when rotating into the circle. I like doing this a lot. You want to try picking off any players rotating from behind. That way it gives you an easier time to rotate to the zone. Now, I had no time to loot him, and that will happen. He might have had shields, but the storm starts hitting harder and harder at endgame, which isn't worth the risk. I once again built my fort as close to the middle as I can, which puts me at an advantage. My issue here is that there are players on the mountain in front of me. Now, once again, they have to move and I don't, so all I have to do is wake them out and rebuild my fort. I do try to go for a few sniper shots. I miss a few, but do connect a shot. Remember to take advantage of the editing tools. Check your surroundings. There was still a total of 4 players left, so I wasn't sure where the other 2 players were. Once the storm starts pushing your opponents, that's when you want to take shots, because your opponents now have to worry about you and the storm. If you have a grenade launcher or not, you still want to make sure not to expose yourself for long periods of time. So take your shots super quick and get back into cover as you repeat the process. Like I said, don't tunnel vision on one guy because another player might have an easy snipe on you. So I ended up knocking one of the players down, and then I actually thought I killed the other one too. But what really happened was that one of the other players sniped the guy I knocked down, which seemed like I killed them both. I then turned my focus on the other team that I thought was the last team, and I was able to kill both of them fairly quickly as they rotated. And once again, guys, this is why you set up your fort as close to the middle of the circle before anyone. You have a better chance of not needing to move, and you can catch any rotators that have to move from the storm. Once I killed both of them, I realized there was still the player behind me that never died. If you guys have a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, then try to use it as much as you can. This is where you want to do as much damage as possible so you don't get caught rotating. Analyze your surroundings and see if you can do something that can benefit you. He had a wall behind his fort, so I tried bouncing some of the grenades in from behind. No hit markers, but it still made it a little easier to destroy the fort. He was then exposed, which he should have then built walls right away, and even tried to build towards me for a fight. He unfortunately didn't. Seemed like he was panicking. If you guys notice yourselves panicking like this guy, then just try to stay calm. It's easy to say, but the less you panic, the more coordinated you'll be. I like to drink water because I feel like I can focus better. Do whatever you guys need to do to help improve your gameplay in any way. Now, say he did push me and got above me. Here's another situation in one of my games that the opponent got above me. I built walls, then a roof to prevent him from peeking over. I then started to build up, and you always want to try to take the high ground back, just like I show you in my building videos. So I built up and instantly built walls in the direction he was in. He unfortunately didn't build fast enough, which allowed me to get the kill. This last player was below me. Once again, guys, I have the high ground and I'm able to see this player and pre-aim my crosshair on him, and he can't see me. Whenever he starts to shoot me, I back away and wait until he stops. I then shoot back and repeat the process until I kill him. Whenever your opponent shoots back, get into cover, and once he stops, shoot back at him. He doesn't know when I'll peek back out because he can't see what I'm doing from below, which is why the high ground is so important. So guys, that is it for this guide. I'll be making these example videos in the future whenever I can, but I don't want to drag this video on for too long, so I like to include as much information in the shortest amount of time as possible. Alrighty guys, so if you have enjoyed this guide, then a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you on the next one.